Welcome to Quick Bites. SimTheWorld here, making 5-star dishes in Cooking Simulator. Today, it's a little out of date, but we're doing the roasted Christmas ham. 'Tis not the season any longer, but let's jump in anyhow. It's a new dish. So we're going to take a 2.4 kilogram ham, full ham, and we're going to get this bad boy seasoned up. We're going to start off with 40 grams of garlic. A lot of garlic, but I feel like that a lot of garlic goes into most dishes. I'm just going to click it through and see what hits the ham. Of course, we'll be exact. There's 40. Next, we need 8 grams of bay leaf. Make sure it's bay leaf, not basil. Don't ask me how I know that. Definitely didn't record that with basil. 15 grams of allspice. Bay leaves kind of leave a... Ooh, we went 1 over. Oops. That's all right. It shouldn't be a huge issue. The proportions are quite large. 18 grams of black pepper. Look through here pretty quick. Not too quick. And finally, we needed to drizzle it with 100 milliliters of honey and 200 milliliters of white wine. So let's see if we can measure out the honey. Try to get that in, 120 milliliters. Went over just a few. That's okay, because some taste will be good. Make sure it's honey. Yep, it's honey. And now we'll drizzle this on the ham. Hopefully drizzle it on the ham. There we go. Doesn't have the full amount, but it's got a good amount. Good enough. And as for the... We need the white wine. We need 200 milliliters. What I'm actually going to do, this bowl I think holds 200 milliliters. So what I'm going to do is fill it up with 150. We'll grab our handy dandy ladle. We'll get the first 150 in. We'll get this drizzled on. All right. And then we'll put the other 50 into the bowl and get that all situated too. That way we get the perfect amount, the 200. Without worrying too much about measuring. And I don't really want to drink the white wine. It's not good stuff. We're using cheap stuff to cook with. Okay, so that's taken care of. Let's get this bowl out of the way. We're good to go. So this ham now goes onto the baking tray and cooks for 100 seconds. So I'm going to get that on the baking tray, get my stopwatch ready to go. I'll throw it in here, and 100 seconds, here we go. So as for plating, let's grab a plate. We're going to need this here in a second. Also going to move the cutting board out of the way. We need, for plating, to zoom down the list, we need a 30-gram piece of orange and a twig of rosemary. So, for the orange, my advice is grab an orange and start making cuts on it. I went through 3 or 4 oranges before I got the 30-gram pieces I'm using for this episode. But because of the size differences in the orange and how it cuts, sometimes it's easier just to go through and start to practice. I mean, see, you got a 31-gram piece. Like some of these I just get rid of. You can play around. I've got some pieces that are close. 5-gram piece, that's small boy. But I've got this translucent 30-gram piece, and then I've got this nicer looking one. Of course, we're going to give the customer the glitchy transparent one. That seems appetizing enough. But we don't have too much longer, so I'll be back in a second. And it's been 140 seconds. Not 140, I'm sorry, a minute and 40 seconds. So, we got the ham out of the oven. We need to slice this up, so let's take this off the baking tray. Get this set down and out of the way. Need just a little more counter space. So now what we got to do, we've got to season it with 50 grams of cloves. I know what you're thinking. If you're thinking like me, I really don't like cloves. This is way, way too much. If you're cooking this for yourself at home, skip the cloves. You'll thank me later. But if you want the full 5 stars, fill this bad boy up. Too many, too many. So, next, we need to slice this into 150 gram pieces. We need 2 pieces for the plate. Now, just like with the orange, my advice is to start practicing. You might even want to practice on a ham, you know, an uncooked ham, just to give you an idea how to slice it, how far back to move the knife. I'll go through about half of this, getting slices, getting different sized pieces, and we'll pick through it to see. So this is 160. Here's 157. I'll take 157. And actually 145 wouldn't be bad. 144 would be better, wouldn't it? That's going to put us pretty well near 300. Yeah, you know what? I'm sticking with that. You can keep cutting down the piece, trying your hand, but I don't think they can expect us to do perfect on this one. They don't give us a better cutting tool. So we've got our ham. Let's grab our orange slice and our rosemary twig. And this is ready to go. That doesn't look too bad either. Will we get our full score? Only time will tell. There we are. Full 5 stars. I didn't use basil or white wine at all. And everything's perfect, full marks. It's not a high scoring dish because it's not super complicated, but it is one of those easier dishes you can have in the back of your pocket. That way, if, you know, some easy fame points and some money in the door, you've got plenty of ham when you get better with cutting. You know, plenty of these slices ready to go, just have to warm it up. And with that, thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch, as I'll occasionally stream live. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.